Welcome back to Midnight Narratives. I'm your small-town Aussie host, here to take you into one of the darkest chapters of Australian history. Tonight's story isn't just about a cult. It's about control, fear, stolen childhoods, and how a single woman managed to convince doctors, lawyers, and professionals that she was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. This is the story of the family. Anne Hamilton-Byrne wasn't an obvious leader. Born in 1921 in rural Victoria, she grew up in poverty, spending part of her childhood in orphanages. But what she lacked in money, she made up for in sheer force of personality. By the 1960s, Anne had reinvented herself as a glamorous yoga teacher in Melbourne. She was elegant, charismatic, and knew exactly how to read people. She used that charm to build a following of well-educated middle-class professionals. This wasn't the typical ragtag cult of drifters and outcasts. Her flock included psychiatrists, doctors, social workers, and lawyers. These were intelligent people, yet many of them believed Anne when she told them she was divine. She didn't claim to be a prophet or messenger. She went straight to the top, declaring herself the reincarnation of Jesus Christ in female form. To her followers, she was the master, and disobedience wasn't an option. What set the family apart from other cults wasn't just Anne's control over adults, but her obsession with children. She believed she was creating a generation of chosen ones who would survive the coming apocalypse. Through a mix of fraudulent adoptions, coerced donations of children from followers, and even connections with corrupt professionals, Anne gathered at least 28 children, all dressed identically in matching clothes, and given the surname Hamilton-Byrne. How? They were raised in total isolation at a property near Lake Eildon in the Dandenong Ranges. From the outside, these children looked like something out of a strange fairy tale. Blonde hair dyed the same shade, identical clothes, identical routines. They were told Anne was their mother and saviour, and they were trained to obey without question. Behind closed doors, though, it was a nightmare. The children were subjected to brutal physical punishments, starved, and emotionally abused. And when they became teenagers, Anne's methods escalated. They were dosed with LSD as part of twisted spiritual training. Under the influence of hallucinogens, they were forced to confront Anne's teachings, broken down and rebuilt into obedient followers. The adults weren't spared either. Followers often had to undergo LSD sessions themselves, believing it was a path to enlightenment. Anne maintained her power by ensuring everyone around her was compromised, controlled, and dependent. If you questioned her, you risked losing everything: your children, your community, your sense of belonging. But eventually, cracks began to form. In the 1980s, 2 teenage girls escaped and went to the authorities. Their testimonies, combined with suspicions from outside investigators, led to a dramatic raid in 1987. Police and social workers stormed the Lake Eildon property and rescued the children. What they found stunned the nation. Many of the kids had no idea how the outside world worked. Some didn't even know who their real parents were. They were cut off, indoctrinated, and scarred for life. Anne fled overseas, hiding in the United States and the UK for years, but she couldn't run forever. In 1993, she was arrested in New York, extradited to Australia, and eventually put on trial. But here's the shocking part. Despite all the allegations, all the evidence, and all the lives destroyed, she never faced serious prison time. She was charged with minor fraud offences connected to falsified adoption papers, but escaped punishment for the abuse itself. Anne lived out her final years in relative comfort, suffering from dementia before passing away in 2019. She never admitted guilt, she never apologised. For the survivors, that lack of justice is the cruelest part of all. And this raises the uncomfortable questions that still hang over this story. How did she get away with it for so long? How did doctors and psychiatrists, people sworn to protect others, become her enablers? Was it fear, manipulation, or just the human desire to believe in someone who promised certainty in a chaotic world? The family wasn't just a cult, it was a mirror held up to society, showing how even the educated and powerful can be manipulated when someone charismatic offers them belonging and purpose. We like to think we're too smart to fall for something like that today, but the truth is, movements like this don't die. They just change shape, adapting to new fears, new technologies, and new vulnerabilities. So here's the question I'll leave you with. If someone came along today promising safety, salvation, and answers in an uncertain world, how many of us would be strong enough to resist? Or would we, like the followers of Anne Hamilton-Byrne, hand over everything in the desperate hope of being chosen? Thanks for tuning in to Midnight Narratives. If you want more stories like this, dark, strange, and unforgettable, hit that like button and subscribe. There are countless hidden histories still to uncover, and I'll be here to share them with you. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and never stop questioning.